Hey crafty peeps, welcome back. So this is my video for Scrapdaworld's challenge, and I'll link her down below, where you had to create something using 5 Dollar Tree items, something crafty, and it's open to US and international. I'll link her video and her channel below. So let's get started. So here are the 5 things that I picked up. I used this Glad Cling and Seal plastic wrap. I also used these mini wavy plates. They're like low hors d'oeuvre plates that you could use. So I picked those up. I'm also using these silver plastic spoons, along with some sequins that you can get at the Dollar Tree. And one other thing that I'm using for my project is these crafting chopping mats, that you can pick up, and these are 11 by 14, and it's 2 in a package. So first you start by cutting your mat in half, where you would have two pieces equals to 7 by 5. You would take one of these pieces, and then we're going to score it. Now this is going to be a little difficult to do because this is plastic, but I find if you use the smaller end and you give it a little pressure, you can score over it a couple of times, and you're going to score at the 5-inch mark and the 6-inch mark on the 11-inch side. And then we're going to, after we do that, we're going to flip the paper, flip the mat over and do it again, just to give it a little more crease. Again at the 5 and the 6. So as you can see, you can kind of see the lines there, but we're going to use the heat from our hands to help soften the plastic, and we're going to fold on these lines, and then we're going to come with our bone folder because it's very thick. Just try to heat it up a little bit, so we'll take our bone folder and just go back and forth on that line, getting a crease. And you may have to do it a couple of times, and then you'll do the other line as well. It may take a little muscle, but it's not anything too hard. You just want to get that crease in there. And see, after you do that, this is what you'll have. Scoring it once more so you could see. And you'll end up with this folder. And we want the shiny side on the outside. So after I do that, I decide to pick my paper. I'm going to use this Simple Stories vintage lemon twist paper. Some sheets I had in my stash. And you're going to cut this down to 4.5 by 6.5. You need 2 pieces. And so we're going to round the corners, because one side of the paper, one side of the mat is already rounded. So I want this side to match as well. And so you're going to add 1 piece of the paper, and you can round the corners of the paper if you like. It's up to you. So we're going to add 1 piece of the paper inside, and we're going to put 1 on the outside. So here I'm just deciding which combination I like better, and I think I end up going with the gingham on the inside of it, and then using the other for the outside. And you would want to use some double-sided paper, because you can see the back of this as well. So we'll just glue this in place, and I think I'm liking how this looks. So after I glued it in place, I just added some trim, and you can add that underneath the paper that you added. Secure it, and then I just cut some pieces, added some die cuts from that collection to decorate it. So here I'm showing you how I create the sequin containers. So you get 4 of those plates, and you're going to put those inside. Now you can actually fit 6 of these in, but I only use 4. So we're just adding a little dab of hot glue just to secure these together. You'll understand why I do this. This will make it a little easier to wrap when they're both together like this. This by no means holds it or secures it. It just gives you a little security when you're wrapping the pieces with the cling wrap. So after we get this together, we'll grab our sequins, beads, whatever you want to use, and fill your containers. So I've added my mixes and the different combinations I wanted. So we're taking the cling wrap and we're going to tear a little piece just about as wide as these 2 containers put together. Put one to the side and I'll show you. So you'll spread it out as best as you can, and you'll line it up, placing it on top of both sides of the containers. Then you'll grab it under the bottom. You'll pull it taut. Make sure you pull it as tight as you can without tearing it, and you'll wrap each side. And the heat from your hands will help keep it in place. And the tighter you pull it, the more likely it'll stay wrapped around your plates. So that's one container. And believe it or not, these sequins stay where they are, because I've tested it, I flipped it, I tossed it around, and they stayed in each container. So I'm doing it again, show you one more time. Just tearing off a piece of the cling wrap. And adding it to the top of the plates, and then taking one side at a time and just wrapping it and pulling it tight underneath, straightening this side out and then pulling it tight as if you're wrapping up a container or something. And there you go, perfect. So once you have your containers, you'll take these and you'll get your hot glue gun. I already have mine warmed up, and you'll put a layer of hot glue across the middle and secure it. You don't need a lot of hot glue. This is just enough to keep it secure from moving. And they go in like such. And see, when your person, whoever you're gifting it to, gets it, they can just cut it open from the top and get to the sequins. And so I'm going to show you how I added the spoon for dipping. So what I did is I took my Crocodile and I decided to go with the hole here. Well, I decided to go with the bigger hole because I looked at the eyelet I was using and it was a little bigger. So I punched a hole here. And then I added my eyelet. And I like this one. It went with the color family. And then just secure that in place. Then after that's done, that's where you'll tie your spoon. And see, I already have one together. This one was gifted to me, but I'd added this charm, and as you can see, that's a little clear ball and it has lemons inside. So I thought it was perfect for this project. So I'll take a piece of that same trim that I used for the closure, and I'll just thread it through the hole of the jump ring, and then just tie that to the end of through the hole in the eyelet. And tie it together. And this inspired me because, as I was saying, Bbz Kraftz, Brittany, she did a project where she created a sequin scoop using some cling wrap and some Dollar Tree items. So that's kind of where I got this inspiration. So there it is. So here's some of the finished ones I did, and you can see how the spoon just hangs off to the side. And when they get ready to use it, they just untie the spoon and can dip in the sequins. And see, you can see how on the back the paper comes through the plastic because this is clear. Kind of more of a frosted plastic. So that's why I suggested using the double-sided paper. And it just ties like such. And I just tied this in a simple bow. And here are some of the others I made. This one, I used more of a coffee theme, and I used some beads and accessories that I got from Lisa Goss, Happy Crafter shop, Happy Crafter here on YouTube. And I just added some pieces that I had in my stash from the Echo Park coffee line, and added some gem pieces. And there's the back of this paper. And I adhered the back of the paper with some double-sided tape. I didn't want to add glue because I thought it would look too messy, so I just used a little double-sided tape to put the sheet inside. And here I just used some Dollar Tree trim and some jute twine. And there's those four. And those are some of her beads and clay pieces that was in the kit that I purchased from her. And here's the last one I created. I used some of the Simple Stories, the Happy Hearts collection. And I just made, used that little gumball, some glue strings. And I just added the spoon. I added a little ribbon tassel here. And I just tied it with some seam binding. Made a little shaker with one of those Target dollar pockets. And added a bow and some other embellishments, a little heart, and just pulling off a couple of glue strings, and then just added a heart here for the closure to add the ribbon, because I end up doing that toward the end. So that's my 3 ideas. So let me know what you think about it. Again, you can add other things to these books, as I'm calling it, and just not sequins. You could use it for any type of embellishment. So thank you for watching. Be sure to check out Tamika's channel. I will link it down below. Challenge is still ongoing to the end of February, so you still have time to enter. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a safe and crafty day. Bye.